Okay, now you are connected. So Sania, you can tell me your timings by. Good evening, Halima. How are you?
I'm fine, ma'am.
Sania, you can tell me your timings by end of the day, like today itself, like after the class, so that you know that one girl Nahida who joined. Okay,
Yes,
so
ma'am.
she will be doing it. Just give me 1 minute. Okay. Okay. So, see. Okay, what I was telling you, Sania. So sorry. Yeah, Sania, I was telling you, just tell me your timings by end of the day because Nahida will also be joining. Actually, she had an issue with the timing, so I shifted it to 8:30 batch, like the. But for national income, she'll be joining with you. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Yes.
Okay. So let's just start with this. So see, students in previous class we did.
For national income, you'll be having different batch.
No. Actually, Sana has her exam on 17th. So I need a one class. I need to give her at least a backup, not a backup, at least just a hint of the chapter, like what is all about. So Halima, if you want to join it, because that won't be the complete chapter, but just a gist of the chapter. The important points I'll be discussing, so that at least you can score few points, a few marks. So
Okay,
Halima,
I'll
do
be
you want to
the
join?
timing.
You will be joining.
Yes.
Okay, then see, I am. You can convert it accordingly. Like I am available from 4:30 to 6, and from 7:30 to 9.
Then, okay, 7:30 to 9.
7:30 to 9. Okay.
You could fit me with the others. Or this will
Okay.
be individual.
This is IST. Sorry.
IST,
Indian time. Indian time.
Indian time. Okay, so this is PM. Then
Ma'am, you're available at 5:30, right? Or
Okay. So you can decide it, and you can just drop me a text so that I can arrange. Okay, Sania and Halima.
7:30 to 7:30 will be better.
Okay. Halima also. Oh, sorry. Sania also.
ma'am, 7:30 IST.
Yeah. This is IST Indian time. You need to
Only.
convert it according to your time. You can let me know after the class, okay? Okay, you can check your schedule and you can just drop me a text by end of the day so that I can make a decision. Okay, when I have to take.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. So see. Okay, students. So Mahdi will be like, oh my god, what they are discussing. Mahdi, is it like this? Mahdi, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, not an issue. Okay, let's just start. So basically, aggregate demand in two sector model. Okay. Now, aggregate demand in two sector model. See, if I'll ask you students, what are the components of aggregate demand? You'll be saying, ma'am, four components, like C plus I plus G plus net export. Okay. But if I say you, what is aggregate demand in two sector model? Two sector model. Okay. Then you are going to take only two components, first and second component. Okay. So in a two-sector model, it is assumed that aggregate demand is a function of consumption and investment. If you will recall it, it is like C plus I plus G plus net export, right? So C and I, these two you are going to take, and these two you are going to ignore in two-sector model. Okay? So aggregate demand in two-sector model is C plus I, where C is consumption expenditure and I is your investment. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so be very quick. Okay, today we need to cover lots of things, so be very, very, very quick. So you can write hashtag aggregate demand in two sector model, this, and then aggregate demand equals to C plus I. Okay, just ignore this one. Where C is this and I is this. Quickly.
Done, ma'am.
Okay, Halima and Madhi done.
Done, ma'am.
Done, ma'am.
Okay, good. Now this one. Wait, wait, wait. I have another slide one. Okay. So students, now we are going to do two things. You already know what is aggregate demand. Now two things. First, the schedule. Okay. And the second one is your graph. Okay. So schedule is basically the table. Okay. So table. So already you know that you are going to take only two things. Okay. Your consumption and investment in terms of income. So this is your table. First, second, three, four. Four columns. First will be your national income. Second will be your consumption. Third will be your income. And last one will be your AD, which is your aggregate demand. And you know, you're going to take only two components, C and I. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, national income. You can say 0. It's not like that I have written 10, 20, 30. You can even take 50, 100, 150 like this. But just an example. So 0, 10. See, your national income can be 0. For example, if you are not working somewhere, so it will be 0. So 0, 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50. Okay. Sorry. A consumption. Consumption, as you know, as your income rises, your consumption also increases. Right? So consumption is 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. It is increasing. Now, investment. As I told you, when we were doing aggregate demand, when we were doing the components, there I told you, Keynes told there are two types of investment, induced and autonomous. But Keynes told us that you are going to take autonomous one. Okay, so autonomous one is something automatic. It does not get affected by anything. Okay, so that's why it always remains same. No matter whether your income is increasing, decreasing, 0, 100, 50, it will remain same. I will not be changing. That is automatic. I'm autonomous. That means I'll be doing whatever I want. Okay. So it is 20, 20, 20, 20, 20 throughout. Okay. Now next is your AD. So AD is your aggregate demand. So it is C plus I. Right. So 20 plus 20, 40. 25 plus 20, 45. 30 plus 20, 50. 35 plus 20, 55. 40 plus 20, 60. 45 and 20, 65. So AD you can find it out. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay, so this is your table. Okay, now this is your curve. So I'll just explain you how you're going to do it. Wait, you're wait. Mm, Okay, so how you will draw your table? How you are going to draw your table like this and this. Okay. For example, let's just take an example: 10, 20, 30, 40, and here 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, like this, and here the 0. This is your income. This x-axis is your income. Y. Okay, and this is your AD. Okay, clear? So now you are going to represent your investment. So you can say when your income is 0, your investment is 20. So that means when your income is 0, your investment is 20. So here. Okay. Then again, when your income is 10, your investment is 20. So again, when your income is 10, your investment is again 20. Okay. Then when your income is 20, then your investment is 20. So when your income is 20, your investment is 20. Again, when 30, 20. So 30, 20, 40, 20. So you can say your investment curve is like this. Got this?
Yes, ma'am.
Others, Halima and Mahdi? No? Halima not audible.
Ma'am, the last part, can you say again? I didn't get that part.
Is that
Yes, Salima.
that is same? So it's that same 20 line.
Which is 29.
Yes,
This?
the I. Yes, I.
This is, yeah, I'm just giving an example. See, here I've written only 40. You can even take 50. Okay. So this is I.
Okay, so this is one line I for investment.
Yes, I is for investment. So this is your investment. Mahdi, see, this is basically, see, here you are see how you plot a graph. It's a simple thing. You are just plotting the graph. For example, it is like 50. X-axis is 50. And here you have to check what is your Y-axis. Then you have to just plot it. Clear?
Yeah.
Okay. So I am just taking it till 40 because I don't have much space over here. So you can see your investment curve is straight line. Okay. Now we will draw your consumption. So you can say for 0 it is 20. So for 0 it is 20. So again here, and then for 20 it is 25. This is your consumption. Okay. Second one. For 10 it is 25. So for 10 it is 25. So somewhere it is like here in between 20 and 25. Okay. Then for 30 it is 35. So for wait. For 20 it is 30. For 20 it is 30. For 30 it is 35. For 30 it is 35. For 40 it is 40 here. So you can see this is your consumption. C. Clear? Getting it how I am drawing
Here.
this? Madhi?
Yes.
Madhi, are you getting it how I am drawing this?
Yeah, ma'am, I got that part.
Good. Now we are going to do your AD. So you can say for 0 it is 40. Okay. So for 0 it is 40. So here it will be. Right. Then for 10 it is 45. So for 10 it is 45. So somewhere it will be here. Okay. Then for 20 it is 50. So for 20 it is 50. For 30 it is 55. So it will go up. Then 40 it is 60. So it is going like this. And this is your AD. Clear?
Mm.
Clear, students?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So this is how they have roughly drawn it. Okay, they have not put up the marks over here. Okay, so you're going to just ignore all this. You'll just write this one is your AD, this one is your C, and this is your I. Okay, this is your national income. You can even write it like this: 10, 20, 30, 40, and here you will write 20, 40, and then 60 like this. That's it. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, wait. So first of all, you will write aggregate demand schedule / table. First, you will draw this table, and then I'll just scroll it down. You just need to draw the rough one. You don't need exact the timings, like exact scale and all that. Okay. So first of all, write this. Just write aggregate demand schedule. Okay, and draw this table. Clear? Sorry.
Done, ma'am.
Yes. Who is done?
Done, ma'am.
Ma'am, done.
Done.
Halim. Now this one. Okay. I'll just zoom it up. If you want to make it like this, you can, but you can see the better one here. So you can ignore my drawing. Just what I want to tell you people is that what is this? Like how your aggregate demand is. See, aggregate demand, the one more question. Why aggregate demand is like the above one, the highest one? Why not here? Why not here? Because aggregate demand, if you will add C and I, then you will get the aggregate demand. So obviously it will always be above, right? Yes.
Got it.
You can draw this.
So your C plus I will be that AD blue line, isn't it?
Yeah, this one is your AD, which is C plus I.
Okay.
And this is your C and this is your I. You just ignore this one, but I have written, write it like this.
Okay, this is easy only.
Yeah, same. It's the same. Okay, I'll just explain you why they have written it like this later on. But right now, you just need to do that.
Done, ma'am.
Finish.
Are we done?
Yeah, ma'am.
Oh. Now see, obviously you have drawn the graph, but how would I get to know what is this graph all about? Right? So you need to explain the graph as well. Okay. So now we will explain the graph. So important concept about aggregate demand. Okay. So what are the important concept about aggregate demand? First, aggregate demand is a function of consumption and investment only. So here you can see aggregate demand over here. I hope you people have written here aggregate demand and over here income. That's very important to write it down. Write it down over here aggregate demand and over
Already
here
done.
Tana and Madhi done. Like you have written it.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
No, ma'am.
Madhi.
We didn't.
Okay. Just write it down quickly. Because these are the sum, right? C and I are represent here. So aggregate demand, but here it is only income. So income and here aggregate demand.
Done, ma'am.
Done?
Done, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. Now the important concept about aggregate demand. So first is aggregate demand is a function of consumption and investment. You have to tell them. See, I'll over here I'll only see two components. I'll be like, earlier you told me you have four components. Why you have represented only two components? So you have to mention that aggregate demand is a function of consumption and investment only. Second, the investment expenditure is assumed to be autonomous. So investment expenditure is assumed to be autonomous, right? Nobody is going to control it, which means it will remain constant at all level of income. Whether you are earning 10 rupees, 20 rupees, 30 rupees, your investment will remain same. Even you can write remain same or you can write remain constant. Okay, both are the same. Third point, the investment curve will be straight line parallel to x-axis. You can see the investment is a straight line and it is parallel to your x-axis. Okay. So investment curve will be straight line parallel to x-axis as it is not affected by change in level of income. Why it is parallel to x-axis? Because it is not being affected by the income. So they sometimes you will get a wait. Okay. So if someone will ask you why your investment curve is parallel to x-axis, so you should have that answer that investment curve is parallel to x-axis because it is not being affected by the level of income. So this is very important. You can get a question for 1 mark. Why your investment curve is parallel to x-axis? So you should be ready with your answer. Next, consumption will be positive even at zero level of income as the minimum level of consumption is done for the survival. This consumption is also known as autonomous consumption. So you can see your consumption is not zero, even not negative. It is more than zero. Why? Because no matter whether you are earning or not, you will consume something, you will eat food, you will drink water, you will wear clothes, right? So that's why your consumption is not negative. It is always positive, right? And because of that it is known as autonomous consumption. Why autonomous consumption, ma'am? Because it is not being affected by the, like, that one portion is not being affected by the income. Whether your income is 0, 1, 2, you will consume something, right? So that's why it is also known as autonomous consumption. Next, the slope of consumption curve is positive. You can say it is positive, it is going upward, right? If you remembered when we were doing two curves, demand curve in text of income and price. So in income it was this, because it's a positive relation, but in price it was like this, downward sloping. So this is negative and this is positive. So your you can see your consumption curve is going upward, so that means it is a positive one. So the slope of consumption curve is positive, which shows that when income increases, consumption also increases. Okay. The starting point of aggregate demand is above zero. You can see AD, your AD is also above the zero, it is not on zero. Okay. So the starting point of AD curve is above zero as there is always a minimum level of consumption and investment in the economy, because your consumption can never become zero, plus your investment can also not be zero. Okay. For example, you are living somewhere. You have already have your house, but right now you are feeling warm. So you need air conditioner. So somewhere, though you are not earning, maybe you will take it on loan or maybe you will purchase it, you will borrow it from somewhere, but you will do an investment because you need you need investment in order to survive, right? So that's why your AD curve is not starting from zero. Okay, because there is always a minimum level of consumption and investment in an economy. Maybe you are not going to purchase some very hi-fi or luxury products, but maybe the small investment will always be there. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Others? Clear? No?
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay. So you can even get this question, why AD is not zero? Why AD is not starting from zero? So AD is a mixture of consumption and investment, and consumption and investment cannot be zero no matter what you are earning, whether you are earning, whether you are not earning. So that's why AD is not starting from zero. Okay. So you will quickly write it down. You will write hashtag important concept about aggregate demand and these points.
Ma'am, can you scroll?
Ma'am, can you scroll?
Ma'am, could you scroll? Done, ma'am. Ma'am, can you scroll?
Ma'am, can you scroll down?
Done, ma'am.
Done.
Done, ma'am.
Okay, everyone is done.
Yes.
Okay, I hope you got it right. So I'm just giving you 1 minute. Quickly read these points again. All the 6 points. Okay, just give it a reading and let me know if you are not getting any point.
Done, ma'am.
Done.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am, done.
Okay. Okay, Halima, I'll just discuss it. Okay. Okay. So let's just start with a new topic. Now we are done with your aggregate demand. Now we'll be starting your aggregate supply. Okay. See, students, in your chapter aggregate demand, you will be getting questions from here. So you need to do in detail the aggregate demand, like whatever I taught you. Okay, but aggregate supply is not that much. Like we won't be doing it in that much detail because that is somewhere reduced from the CBSE. But why we are doing aggregate supply? Because when we will be doing the equilibrium and all that, you need both the thing, aggregate supply as well as aggregate demand. So that's why I'm teaching you what is aggregate supply. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now aggregate supply. So ma'am, what is aggregate supply? So aggregate supply is the value of final goods and services that all the producer are planning to supply over a period of time. See, aggregate demand was basically the consumer who were demanding. Just remember one thing, demand is always done by consumer and supply is always done by producers. Is this clear? I hope you people know this. Demand is done by consumer, like who,
Yes.
if I want to consume, so I will be demanding. If I am producing something, then I will be supplying it. So producer always do supply and consumer always do demand. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So aggregate supply is the value of all final goods and services that all producers are planning to supply. So aggregate supply is basically the value of all the final goods and services that the producer are planning to supply over a period of time. Clear?
Yes.
Okay. Now the next thing is that when we were doing aggregate demand, we said that, for example, if these people are demanding, so that means these people are ready to do the expenditure, right? So similarly, if you are supplying something, Okay, you, for example, you are supplying 4 chocolates, so that means you will get 40 rupees, right? You people are supplying, so that means you will earn something. It will become your income, right? So aggregate supply is equals to y. Y is basically income. Y income is represented by y. Okay, so now you will be like, ma'am, why aggregate supply is equals to income? So the answer is output produced in an economy is always equals to income aggregate. So basically, whatever you are producing, you will sell it, and automatically when you will sell it, you will get money, and that money will be your income. When we were doing aggregate demand, it is basically why aggregate demand was equals to expenditure, because you are demanding it. Once you got the product, you will give your money and you will purchase that product. But as you are a producer now, you are producing it, right? So when you will supply it, in return you will be getting money, and that will be income to your, that will be equal to your income. So that's why aggregate supply is equals to income. And why? Because output produced in an economy is always equals to income generated, because whatever you are producing, that will generate your income. If you are producing 4 chocolate, your income will be 40. If you are producing 5 chocolate, your income will be 50. If you are producing 1 chocolate, your income will be 10 rupees. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay, so remember one thing, aggregate demand is always equals to expenditure, but aggregate supply is equals to your income. So you will write first hashtag meaning of aggregate supply, the entire thing, then aggregate supply equals to income, and how, because output produced in an economy is always equals to income generated. So quickly write it down.
You thereafter, how will be writing only one line?
Yeah, this one, output produced in an economy is always equals to income generated.
Okay, so it will not be like a 5 mark or big mark question, only one
No,
line.
you won't see. Remember one thing, you won't be getting anything. Aggregate supply is not a part of your syllabus. So that's why I have just precised the thing, because what they will be asking is from aggregate income. Sorry, aggregate demand, not from supply. As you will check your syllabus, na, which I have given you, the first page, right? There I have not mentioned aggregate supply. I have just mentioned aggregate demand. But you need aggregate supply in the upcoming chapter. So that's why I'm teaching you the basic of aggregate supply, so that you can get a rough idea. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
Done, ma'am.
Done, ma'am.
Done.
Okay, good. Now, see, aggregate demand is, wait, I'll say it. Remember this very carefully, students. Okay, see, now your, as I told you, your aggregate demand is equals to output, what you are producing. Okay, and that is equals to your income. So this is your statement. That aggregate supply is equal, sorry, aggregate supply is equals to what you are producing. That means your output. And when you will produce it, of course, you will sell it, and that will be equals to Y. And Y is your income. Okay, so over here, you won't be getting income. You will be getting Y. Because investment, you can say like, ma'am, why income is not denoted by I and why with y, okay? Because you know investment is represented by I, so that's why income is being represented by y. Clear? Because income is your money, right? MONEY. So the last term y. That's why. Clear?
Got it.
Okay. So y is basically your aggregate supply. Okay. Now coming to components of aggregate supply. So basically you have two components. One is consumption and other is savings. Over there you have consumption and investment. But over here you have consumption and savings. So what they have written it like this. Y equals to C plus X. So why they have written Y over here? Because you know this is aggregate supply. So even if you write aggregate supply or you can write Y. Both are the same thing. Okay. So equals to Y equals to C plus S. So if I'll ask you what are the components of aggregate demand, you will say consumption and investment. But if I'll ask you what are the components of aggregate supply, you will say consumption and savings. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So you will write it from here. Wait, I'll just tell you what you have to do. Okay. So first you will write aggregate supply equals to output equals to this. And then second one, Y equals to aggregate supply. Then hashtag components of aggregate supply. So just write Y, national income, Y equals to consumption and this. That's why you give, just write in box this one. And then consumption or saving. Consumption and savings are the two components of aggregate supply. That's
Ma'am, this formula we have to learn, right?
sorry, Sana.
Ma'am, this formula we have to learn, right?
Yeah, this one you have to remember because you need this formula. For AD also you need it. AD, what was AD? AD equals to C plus I. So this one is also important. But this one Y equals to, because you know most of the student remember this. AS equals to C plus S. But when it is given Y equals to C plus S, they get confused like from where Y came. So just remember Y is equals to aggregate supply. You can either write aggregate supply or you can write Y. Both are the same thing.
Will we get numericals from this chapter?
Yes, you will get numericals. That's why the formula is. That's why I'm teaching you aggregate supply, because when you have to find, both are related somewhere. So if you have to find something, then you will be like, ma'am, we only know about the demand. What about supply? So that's why I'm not giving you everything in detail, but at least the main part of supply. Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Done.
Done, ma'am.
Adira.
Yeah,
Okay. So now after this, you will also write this aggregate supply equals to C plus S. C is your consumption, S is your savings. Okay, quick. And this one you will put in box. AS equals to C plus X.
Done, ma'am.
Okay, everyone is done?
Yeah, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So in the next class, we'll do this table quickly and we'll do this because this is very important. Okay. And then the importance of this, then we'll be done. And in our next class, we will do very important topic, which is your propensity and that. So everyone will join on time. Nobody will be late because I need at least 1 hour to complete most of the portion of this chapter in our next class. Okay. Clear? And Halima, you were saying something. Time zone difference between IND 8 to 9.
I was saying I'm free like in from Indian time zone. It's like after 8 o'clock. Here it
Okay.
will be 5:30.
Okay. So
Two
you are
and a
available
half
8
hour
to 9
difference.
IST.
Yes. Is it comfortable?
Yeah. 8 to 9 I'm available. Like from 7:30 to 9 I'm available. So 8 to 9 IST. Let's just keep it. What about Sana?
Yes, ma'am.
Sana, you are not audible.
Yes,
You can
ma'am.
check it. Sana, you can check it 8 to 9 portion and let me know. Okay. 8 to
Here
9
it will be
IST.
5:30.
Yeah. So 5:30 according to your time. Maybe if like either it will be 2.5 difference or it will be 1.5 difference. So you can check it according to your country. And 8 to 9, just make yourself available so that you can do the things. 8 to 9 because I am available 8 to 9. Okay, Sana?
Ma'am, I'm available, ma'am.
Okay. You can, you are not audible, Sana. You can just drop me a text on WhatsApp. Okay.
Ma'am, I'm available, ma'am.
Okay. Now you are audible. Okay. So 8 to 9, I'm just keeping it for tomorrow. Is it fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh,
Okay, tomorrow.
yeah. Just in case I just forget it, just drop a text to your counselor that Sana ma'am asked us to that she'll be arranging an extra class for us. So please share the link. Okay.